This is Justin, and I am interrupting the usual geeky fun we have here at the Real Manos, and I am going to do a video response to Blowhimselfupdude's video, Let's Talk About Politics, where he talks about politics. And yeah, he did this video a couple weeks ago, and to be honest, I was kind of hesitant to respond to it, which he invited his subscribers to do. I was hesitant because I don't talk about politics on the Real Manos. I tend to think that it's just more fun to talk about movies, comic books, and the most serious, hardcore arguments I've had about comics or film have been a shitload more fun than arguing about healthcare, for instance. But I've just been too tempted by this latest video, and I've been away from the political scene, haven't really been following it too much in the last month or two, and I feel like I should at least put my 2 cents worth, voice my opinion. So, with all that out of the way, if you're not crazy about it, I have some more cool videos coming up, so stay tuned. But, in response, I was looking up in the dictionary, getting ready for this video, and I found under the word liberal, favoring individual freedom and non-revolutionary reform, broad-minded or tolerant, generous, bountiful. Now that's generally what I see myself and what I see in the agenda of a liberal and what we strive for. And the thing is, I really do see being a liberal to be a really vital part of what has made this country great and the envy of the world. And I'll explain. Matter of fact, it goes back even before this country was formed. If you really think about it, those who came over here were trying to get away from the status quo, trying to get away from being oppressed, trying to get away from unfair policies and such, and just trying to find out if there's something better on the other side of the ocean. Whatever their reasons were, they needed to change, and they took that chance. Now, of course, fast forward a few years later, maybe a couple of centuries, our founding fathers stood up once again. They stood up against a monarchy. They stood up for what they believed was not just a revolution against Britain. It was a revolution in thought. It was, they wanted to create a government of the people, for the people, by the people. And this was, not really that typical. I mean, governments were basically controlling of its people, and not just controlling speeding tickets and shit like that. I'm talking about control. And it's, monarchies of kings that were supposedly chosen by God to rule over them, and popes that would rule over countries they don't even visit. And it's just a way to keep people down. And it was their hope to create this country that, as best as it could be run by the people. And it is why we have the 3 branches of government that is supposed to keep an eye out on each other. And not just that, also that's why we have in the Constitution the First Amendment, freedom of speech, which is why, freedom of the press, freedom of speech for anybody who has something unpopular to say that might change the status quo for the better. That's why we have it. And also, in case the government comes down on you, we have the Second Amendment. And yes, I'm a liberal who just said I believe in the Second Amendment. Now, we can argue about specific gun laws and policies and waiting periods, but I believe in the Second Amendment. And any liberal, I think, should believe in the Second Amendment. And, of course, there is going to be corruption. And our founding fathers had the foresight to know that, not to think that this was going to be a perfect union. That's why I think that's where the phrase "a more perfect union" came from, because they know at that time. I mean, of course, it even says it even validates like slavery in the Constitution. But they knew that this was the beginning. This was the seed that was going to eventually allow slaves to be free. Now I can't say that specifically, but I mean it did, looking back at it. And this is, it's a government that, of course, they understood why. People tend to get corrupted by power. I mean, think of any place you've worked. I mean, have you worked with somebody who became a manager and then became a dick about it? I mean, let's face it. Power corrupts at Taco John's. It's going to corrupt in a nation. So that's why we have this system. Now, we do our best, and it's designed to keep order. And it's a government. It's a government not designed to oppress people. It's actually a designed government to allow people to benefit themselves, to improve their lives. And this is the thing that people always argue against liberals all the time. They go, oh, they love big government. Oh, big government is great. Oh, blah, 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 blah. We just want to fuck big government, make it bigger, and shit like that. The thing is, as a liberal, I don't love big government. Whatever that means. I guess that means 1984 government, cradle to grave kind of shit. I see government as a useful tool to not only just keep people together, but give them a chance. Give them a chance to build the lives they so choose. No matter what you are, no matter if you're male, female, no matter what your race is, no matter if you're religious or not religious, or gay or straight, you deserve a chance. If you can bring it, you know, this country wants it. I just think it's simple as that. I don't believe in private enterprise can take care of these things for people. Because private enterprise only cares about private enterprise. Now, of course, yes, there's people who are corrupt in government, but we have more of a say than we think. I mean, we don't vote. We don't try to vote. It's just the thing. It's hard to take part in politics. It is. I mean, I have a job. I have things to do. I have a girlfriend. I have a YouTube channel. But all one has to do is just pay attention and vote. Because America isn't so much a government. It's not even a place. It's an idea. And maybe, I don't know, maybe the first country that ever was an idea first. That people can live the lives they want. Anyway, that's kind of how I see things.